So, welcome to United Astronomy Clubs of New Jersey. Once again, we are back on site. The rain has cleared up so far, so that's looking good. We are live on site at Jenny Jump State Park in Hope, New Jersey. We are also live streaming this onto YouTube. You can always go back and check out our video presentation on our YouTube. We keep the presentations up. And if you ever can't make it here on site, you can join us here from home. I will be monitoring chat through my mobile device or computer. That being said, you can check us out on our website, uacnj.org. That's where you'll see a list of all our presentations going on, as well as the various telescopes we have, and any special events that we might be able to do. We also have a number of social media. We have Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We've got our Discord channel. You can check us out on there. Again, on Facebook, we post all of the our events, as well as any special events we might do. Plus, one of our members does write space articles, and they are a very interesting read. That being said, we are a nonprofit, so everyone you see here is a volunteer doing this of their own accord, and people who have kindly, apparently it's raining right there under the gutter, did not need the shower. But, where was I? That completely derailed my train of thought. That being said, tonight's presentation is Space Careers with Ken Taylor. He's been part of the organization for longer than I have. He's done so many presentations. One of his other ones is Astronomy for Beginners. I wasn't sure whether he was the one who did that or it was someone else. After a while, I lose track. But he often runs a telescope on site, and as well as the outreach for us at our various off-site events. So, Ken, do you want to take it from here? Or do you want to turn on your mic? No, your mic's not on. Do you need help? Come on. Apparently, he forgot how to turn on his mic.
I did not. Is it working now?
It should be working.
Oh my God, it is working now. Hi guys, how are you? Welcome to UACNJ. Yes, I wore this just because I wanted to for our audience and people online, and I got lots more than just this. Meanwhile, I'm taking it off because it's warm. So my presentation is Space Careers. It is oriented for the younger folks primarily, but I try to make it entertaining and a little bit educational for our audience online and, of course, yourselves. If you have any questions during my presentation, ask away. Okay, if I don't hear you, I wear hearing aids, I'll let you know. Like what? I try to keep that going as much as possible. Hopefully I got this set up. No. So either way, yes, I have been into astronomy for approximately 15 years. Everything I've learned from astronomy, I learned here. And I enjoy just talking to people and having people ask me questions. Please be aware, as I tell everyone, if you happen to ask a question online or even in our audience here, if you sense any kind of hesitation on my part, and I give you an answer, there's a 50-50 shot I'm lying to you because I don't know everything. I'd much rather be honest. And how do I make this thing work? Hello? How about turning this on? I just got to get technical. All right, so UACNJ, in existence for over 31 years, and love having you here. Thank you all for coming. Thank you for attending online. Space and the stars that are up there waiting for you. You being possibly going into a career, being some sort of a space career, or just being an astronomer, or somebody who just wants to look up. Uh, uh, the whole idea is talking about what you might want to do when you grow up. We're grown up. I'm grown up. I'm beyond a career, so it's again geared to the younger folks. You guys, and she's not into it, but whatever. So I mean, I always wanted to be an astronomer. Okay, an astronomer, but an astronaut. Because I'm already crazy, they wouldn't accept me anyway. And Kim over here, who's smiling at me, is agreeing with that. So again, I'm sure there's a lot of you have thought of the same thing. I have already given an interview to somebody who asked me the question, would I go to Mars? I said to them, well, that's in Hackettstown, which is, well, it's a factory there. Okay, fine. But let's see about some outer space careers that you might be waiting for you. How about being a doctor? In this particular case, you have space medicine. Extremely interesting, okay, because space medicine is a lot different than Earth medicine. Okay, here, we're not dealing with weightlessness and of a lot of other things, kind of motion sickness that you could wind up getting. And the end results are is here's somebody who is on an exercise bike. Think about the doctor and the engineers and the people who actually designed that particular bike. It probably cost us somewhere in the area of about $150,000 to $200,000. I don't know. But whatever the job you might be thinking of, maybe designing, who knows? Any guesses? Okay, and here's another doctor actually doing an eye exam while on the International Space Station. I'm going to call him Astro Docs because, hey, it's cool. Okay, it's just a nice name. Agreed? I got a whole bunch of shaking head. How about you guys online? Are you shaking your head? Yeah? Well, I'm an astronaut. Okay, so there you go. So here's a guy doing an eye examination. It's got to be, I don't know how the heck that works out. Somebody's screaming out up over above. Okay, there's another thing. Who likes cooking? Cooking. How about this? You guys design a piece of fruit or meat or some sort of a meal that stays on a plate. It's weightless. They got to go around, if you can see it here right now. I mean, here's a guy just trying to catch a gosh darn, it looks like a McDonald's chicken nugget. Go ahead.
I thought that's the purpose of Jell-O. It kind of just sticks to everything like those gummy hands. You just slap it on the plate.
Well, here's a piece of cake over here. Here's a guy juggling a bunch of tomatoes. Can you imagine if he smashed that into the wall? What a mess that would be, because seeds would be all over the place. But, I mean, it's something to think about. I mean, there are people that design foods for airplanes and all that kind of stuff. Of course, there's got to be somebody designing foods and creating foods that they can eat in space. When I was younger, they were squeezing stuff out of a squeezy jar with a straw in it. Now they're chewing on gosh darn apples and chasing chicken nuggets around the cabin. Also, here you go. You could be an engineer actually designing suits or even componentry involving suits. Have you guys seen the SpaceX spacesuits now? Coolest thing ever. So anyway, in this particular case, you can't buy this stuff off the shelf, so you can't buy it at Walmart. So you're going to have to buy it, and make it and design it and make it of the plastics that are possibly needed, glass, whatever the case might be. Of course, here is a SpaceX suit, which I think is totally cool. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, if you are familiar with the Space Odyssey 2001, that looks like it, and that was thought of in the 1960s. So it's kind of really close to that. So, I mean, every little nuance like that has to be designed. So engineering, doctors, chefs, we've already talked about those things a little bit. Engineering, again, here's somebody actually designing something for an old style suit. Yeah, there's seats right here. Come on, guys. That's what it's for. They're $5 a piece. We don't charge for seating. It's either BYO or take advantage of what we do have, which is very limited. But again, here's somebody, a couple of college students working on a suit. I don't know what they're doing. It looks like they're testing something out electronically or possibly even medically. So it's something to think about. I kind of look at the kids here, younger guys, again, because of it being oriented towards younger kids. But who's into interior design? Who likes furniture? Who likes electronics? Everybody. End results are, how about somebody who does design and build these instruments that we're going to need in outer space and where to put them? I don't think we're going to have a control room like this. This happens to be engineering of the next generation of Star Trek. I'm a Trekkie person. I'm sorry. I'm a Trekkie person. So, I mean, here's something, interior design, utilizing space properly. Again, right now we're not flying ships like the ship in the background here. One day, I'm hoping. Okay, and again, I'm kind of engineering. Here's somebody working on the international. That happens to be the Hubble. I think that's a picture actually of them actually repairing electronic or mirror. But again, designing the tools that have to be done there, that has to be utilized, tethering it properly so it doesn't wind up being space junk. You know, what'd you see, George? It's a crescent wrench right by our ship window. End results are, you might be even designing tools to fix the toilet. And it's drizzling, right? I'm not. No, it's here. We're getting drips off of our gutter that's right overhead. So, I mean, you've got to design the tools that have to be used, learn how to properly use them, make them out of the proper material that it doesn't, one, be too heavy, so on and so forth. A lot of stuff that has to go on. So it's kind of things that you have to really take into consideration when you start talking about space travel. Here's somebody changing the oil on a rover, Mars rover. No. Yes, I'm cuckoo. Okay. This is obviously in the desert. Here's somebody changing the oil, as I mentioned. No, just joking. Think about that. Engineering to build that. The science involved with collecting the light so it can charge its batteries. Also, learning how to communicate that far away. If I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, because 99% of the time I am wrong. It takes about 20 minutes for a signal to reach Mars to come back and give us the proper information to move the rover around on the planet. Okay, that's fine. You're talking to a mic or typing on a computer. Guess what? Computer design, the software design, even just the knowing how that piece of equipment works that's being controlled by it. It's a lot of stuff to take into consideration, but there's jobs out there that you can get, and they pay well as far as I know. How much are you paid, Kim?
Less than I'm worth.
And I'm sure that the engineers that are doing this stuff I just mentioned are the same way. But
I'm in food service, so as
food services, there we go. We were just talking about that. You're going to Velcro a gosh darn tomato to a plate. You know, it's kind of messy after a while. You don't really, what do you do? Wash out the Velcro? Oh, a sink. Where's the water go? Oh, yeah, it ain't going to work. We've been looking at stuff in outer space currently that we are using. What about the stuff, like I was mentioning, the stuff in the future that you guys might be doing at your possible space career job? So the idea is that designing the ships, how they're driven, who wants to be an astronaut? I think 50% of you guys, maybe 50% of you guys online, and end results are There's space for everybody. As mentioned in my first screen, there's a lot of space out there to fill. You can be part of it. NASA's not the obviously only one that's launching rockets. Obviously, SpaceX right here is launching a rocket. I've forgotten the name of this one. Does anybody know the name of that one? The SpaceX double engine drop off. The thing comes back and lands.
The
Falcon
Super
9.
Heavy? The Super Heavy?
I don't know. But there will be needs for your talents, your imagination, because your imagination is what's going to let you be that much more successful in space, in any job, but in space, because using your imagination, yeah, right? We're getting drizzled on here. Okay, so SpaceX isn't the only company putting stuff into space, and they're going to be needed. So there's a lot of people out there, not only NASA, SpaceX, Virgin Galactic. There's one more, isn't there? There's a whole. There's
Blue
like
Origin
3 or 4,
is
and there's more
Amazon, I
coming
think.
online. Okay, the next time you have a couple of $1 million that you have nothing to do with, maybe you can go up and Virgin Galactic and go take a 20-minute ride for about $30 million. I don't have that kind of money to waste. Maybe in the night sky, even here, okay, you might look up in the night sky and see a star moving, okay? Right? What are they? 99.9% of them are satellites. Correct. Yes, it might be a satellite. It might be even a star. If it's moving, older people, put the glass down. That happens to be a picture of Starman. That little dot that I showed on the previous screen right here, square with a square on it, is Starman. Does everybody know who Starman is? Yes, you do. You do? Oh, there's a couple of us out in the audience that do know. For you that don't know, that actually is a Tesla Roadster that Elon Musk, in his great wisdom, decided to put into space. And that was put into space at February 6th, 2018. He's still on the road, traveling a heck of a lot faster than you can go in your car. Okay, he's probably somewhere in an area of about 15,000 miles an hour. So I mean, use your imagination. Okay, you're looking up there. I've had an amateur astronomer come up and go, Ken, you got to look through my telescope. Look, so on and so forth. I looked in the telescope. He says, you see the 2 stars and then the other one on the point, so on, so. Yeah, I see it. Okay, step away. 5 minutes later, he says, here, take another picture. Look in there. And I looked. He says, did it move away from that area that I showed you it was? I said, yeah. That's got to be an alien. Go ahead. The Tesla? No, it's going out. It's going out. I think it's going to wind up crashing into the sun, but I don't know. Anybody online, if you have that information, please look it up. Give us the information back. That way I can give the information to our audience here. I don't know. Right now he's trying to find a parking space. It's a whole bunch of parking spaces up there. Maybe you might even seen television shows. Here's another area. It's space. Television shows using robots, other planets in space. That's another job you might want to think about, being a movie director, even thinking a storyline to do a line on aliens, whatever. Okay? What the heck? We have here at UACNJ in the back over here, if you get a chance to go in the back and take a peek, we have a 10-foot black dish back there facing up. That is a SETI dish. Any of you know what SETI is? Search for extraterrestrial intelligence. Absolutely. We haven't found it, or I haven't found it on Earth. Audience excused, I apologize. You're probably all brighter than me. because I'm definitely an example of the lower end of that scale. So end results is that we have a lot of stuff going on. So that's another area. It's not necessarily in a spaceship having anything to do, but that kind of stuff. See the movie Contact. Did anybody see that? Good flick. It was a little bit out of the line, right, guys? It was a little bit out of line as far as science was concerned, but it's using your imagination again, as far as being a story director, a film director, movie director. Here's a couple of robots again, college students working on it. It definitely looks cooler than C-3PO. Okay, agreed? I do. In fact, I think I saw him running in the track the other day. Yeah, no, whatever. Think this is a cool job? Of course it is. I don't know how many slides I got to go. Oh, I'm motoring through, so guys, if I bore the hell out of you, go ahead, go to sleep and snore away. Who's going to tell, again, software, tell the robot what to do, how to fix something in outer space? Again, a computer programmer, a software designer. Again, I'm not that bright, but I do think it's one of the coolest jobs going, because you're working on something that might not even exist. Maybe one of you could be directing a robot this way. And who is that? She's got it right. That's 3CPO. Whatever. Okay. So end results are, we've gone from in the early, when did Star Wars come out? 69? 70? 70? 77? In 1977, that's what they were thinking as far as a robot, with 3CPO and the other one. And then you had this guy here. That's a heck of a lot cooler than that. And this is, of course, cooler than that one. So you can see technology has changed, design has changed, and the thought process of actually getting involved with robots and walking and doing a job. Another cool thing, not necessarily a spaceship, so on and so forth. This happens to be, of course, the Hubble Space Telescope. Hubble Space Telescope, again, was launched now, you do the math, 32 years ago. Okay? I can guarantee you, and it's already been proven, the Webb telescope that's been launched, much better. Cassini was much better, so on and so forth. The whole idea is technology changes and you haven't even thought of the technology that you're going to get involved with. It's really kind of cool. I mean, we're getting pictures that are much, much better detailed than what the Hubble did from the Webb telescope and the Cassini and so on and so forth. Take a peek at a couple of pictures. What is it? Boy, everybody's too quiet. What is it? I'm blocking your view. That is the Orion Nebula. Also viewable with a pair of binoculars. Okay, a portion of it. You won't get it in this kind of detail or color, but it definitely. Put the club away, Chris. I had somebody threaten me if I go outside my box that I have right here, that he's going to clobber me with a golf club. So,
well, it was either that or the child leash.
Oh, that was a what?
Or the, leash you use on small children so they don't run into traffic.
Yeah, but I'm an old guy.
So? We'll make it
I've
cute.
learned to
It'll
stay
be
out
like,
of traffic.
We'll make it like one of those monkey backpacks. It'll
There
be
you
great.
go. Okay, so that's one object. Again, I was bringing it up, the things that you can see with your eye, with a pair of binoculars. Again, space telescopes, technology has changed significantly there. End results are some other kind of a job, optic design, a lot of stuff you can get involved with. Another one, told you about it. That's Andromeda. With Andromeda, with a pair of binoculars, I'm going into my other talk, but with Andromeda, with a pair of binoculars, if you know where to look, you'll see this portion of Andromeda. It's much larger, obviously, but this you can't see with your naked eye. This you could. It's a small little smudge. But again, these are the type of things that we here today can see. When you younger guys, when you get older, and if you go into space careers, and results are, I can't even imagine what you guys are going to see. Maybe a parking sign on Mars or whatever. This is a globular galaxy, a globular cluster. Globular clusters are viewable with the naked eye through a telescope. You can supposedly see them with a pair of binoculars in a very dark place like Cherry Springs, which is at mid-Pennsylvania. But these are all Hubble shots. Uranus. Had somebody make a guess it was on. This is Uranus. It's not two of them. You're not seeing double. So therefore, you're going to have another beer. The idea is that some of the things that they discovered once they sent out a satellite, a probe, Viking, Mariner, or just a few older ones. But as it went by, that's when they discovered that Uranus had ring. Rings, ring. I'm going to go with ring. If there's more, it's not in that shot. Saturn. Absolutely. And what's the other one? Bing. Cheater. No? She knew that all by herself? Wow. I got, how old are you? 9 going on 10, and she's rattling them off. Wow. Really good. So again, these are type of things that, again, with optics and that are even going to get better. Another shot of Mars in the telescopes here. If Mars was up. Don't get me wrong, you wouldn't have this close-up of a detail, but you most definitely would be able to see the southern and northern pole ice caps of Mars. Chris runs that particular telescope most of the time and has taken pictures of Mars, and you can definitely see those. It's, again, all of a sudden it goes, guess what? Space is big. Everything I've shown you so far as planets are concerned, 1 billion miles away, that's nothing. The Andromeda, which I showed you a little bit earlier, that, again, you can see with a pair of binoculars, is 2.964 million light years away. Anybody good with math, if they would like, please write in and tell me. We'll round it off. 2 million times 1 light year. 1 light year happens to be 5.9 trillion miles. So times 2 million, you got to add a whole bunch of zeros and then multiply the first few numbers by 2. Too many.
That's got to be at least 3.
Yeah. A whole bunch. Another one of my favorite objects. Yes, I've taken a picture of this. This happens to be M51. This is a galaxy swallowing another galaxy. Think of the science of what's involved, where they can actually tell how fast it's being gobbled up. Okay, first things first. M51 is probably like 2 million, 3 million. Somebody tell me online. Light years away. End results are what was taken picture here and what I took a picture of is over 2 million 2 million light years, 100,000, whatever distance that is. The light came off of that object. Here's more. Light came off of that object tens of thousands, if not millions of years ago, traveled through space and captured by the camera, be it Cassini, be it the Hubble telescope.
23.16 million light years.
What was that?
23.16 million light years.
21 point whatever she said.
23.16
million light years away. Whew. This happens to be the Crab Nebula, M1. M1 was actually viewed by people on Earth in 100 AD, and it's actually put down in their writings in China. And it was so bright when that nebula eventually, that light from that nebula, actually the exploding star, came through space, reached Earth well before they actually saw it on Earth, but they saw it also in broad daylight. Look it up. Truth. Didn't hesitate. Notice I didn't hesitate. I was trying to figure this out. Somebody online, tell me what this is, because I forgot. I put it in there because I just like the colors of the darn thing.
That's definitely a nebula.
Huh?
It's definitely a nebula of
It's
some
definitely
sort.
a nebula. I think it's the lagoon or the witch's head. I don't know. Whatever. But again, a lot of neat stuff out there. One to look at, analyze. It's kind of cool. I hope to get your jobs that you want, or like your jobs you're in. Somebody just went, okay. But having a space job is truly awesome, considering what you're going to see, do, and have fun with, and bring to the public as far as stuff as we do here at UACNJ, looking through our small little telescopes that are earthbound and trying to explain the little bit of science that we know. Going into the space industry, becoming an astronaut might be your interest. Maybe you'll like to meet an alien one day. Like this. Who is it? E.T. That's right, E.T. So back to movie design and imagination. That was really weird how they got that thing to have its head go up and all that. It's mechanical, but still, it's space oriented. Or you can meet somebody like this. Yoda, that's right, Yoda. You guys that showed up a little later, I had a Yoda hat on. I still do. How about these guys? Guardians of the Galaxy. Yeah, that's right. I like Groot, but that's little Groot.
Everyone likes Groot.
Everybody else
What's
like
not
Groot?
to like?
Cool. Again, what time?
Time for you to get a watch.
I can't see it.
It's 8:33.
8:33. I did my presentation in about a half an hour. Okay. I apologize if I bored the heck out of you. You online too. But I'd like to thank you for coming. Please sign in if you'd like. Do we have a sign-in book any longer?
I don't think we have the sign-in book. There is a QR code located at various observatories that they can
It's online.
do the thingy.
Same thing online. Sign in online if you want to get some more information about UACNJ. We use it not to hound the crap out of people. We don't hammer you with a bunch of garbage. You know, if you want to buy solar panel or, you know, how about your car? And insurance and all that stuff for repair. I hate it.
We're not here to contact you about your car's extended warranty.
So I hope you enjoyed. You know, and what I showed you was somewhat interesting. May you all go in peace, whatever, and come back and visit us as much as you'd like. We're open for free, obviously. I got mosquitoes in my head. No, that's something buzzing in my ear. Make sure you donate if you would. That's what supports us if you'd like. Not mandatory. And after a while, after we're all done here, the sales desk area will be open, and Miss Kim is our sales director. Thank you online.
I've been
if there's
promoted.
Any questions, we'll go from there.
All right. So before we get going, because I did miss a couple key things, on the intro because I got water down my back and completely lost the train of thought, and there were no survivors then. Just keep in mind when you guys who are here go to leave, do use your headlights. It hurts getting run over. We would like to avoid that. Um, that being said, if you have a flashlight or whatnot for when it gets darker, do keep the light pointed at the ground, just so we don't unintentionally blind people if we don't have to. If you guys here need to use the bathroom, we have the porta potty to my right, your left. Like Ken said, we have the little sales desk and museum area in the door to my right. We do have several scopes open. A couple, I believe, are visual. There's probably at least one with electronically assisted astronomy, which is where we, instead of an eyepiece, we attach a camera to the eyepiece area, and we then project that image that the camera captures onto a screen for you guys. So, oh, you changed the slide, so I didn't have anything to reference. Oh God, they went. There were many slides. I don't know about you. I'm a speed reader, but that's a little fast, Ken. Mostly the last slide where you had the information. That one. Do be mindful if there are any scopes set up on the lawn, or if you do go into the observatories to view through a scope, that we ask permission as to touching the scope. Do ask what they're looking at as well. So with that, we're going to get going into the Q&A session. For the people here, I just ask you raise your hand and wait till I bring you the microphone so that our people online can also hear your question, because chances are they actually have similar questions. So the first question we had was, if you had to pick a space career, which one would you possibly choose?
Too many. I would like to be involved in some way, shape, or form the science of robots, or actually becoming an astronaut. I'm 67 years old, so I think that's out of the question.
We could always use some guinea pigs. All right, what's their question here with our audience? Anyone? Bueller?
Online?
Bueller? I do have several online.
Wow.
There was actually a lot of chat going on. So the next one, is there a career for cleaning up the space junk in orbit around Earth?
Most definitely. Oh my God. There's millions upon millions upon millions of dollars worth of stuff up there. Cameras. Actually, I saw an adjustable wrench actually fly off on one of the shows that I had seen, and they were saying that that's flying around. But yeah, space junk. But the thing is to get out there to see it, you can't take your car.
But that's definitely going to be a future career that we need to start looking into, because otherwise it's going to get awfully hard to continue launching things into space. Anyone? Okay.
Yeah, my question is how to best motivate 2-year-old, 5-year-old grandkids to get into these careers, or start thinking
Kim,
about
could you
these
repeat that?
careers.
The question was how to motivate younger children, so about toddler age, to start thinking about what career they want to get into, or pointing them into a
Photography?
career. No, like get small children involved with STEM and whatnot, where they would start getting involved in astronomy and whatnot.
Well, I can tell you right now, with the lectures that I have done within schools, science classes, recreational departments, so on and so forth, if I start talking about showing pictures like I just did, with the kid, the various characters, so on and so forth. It gets them moving. I will give you an idea of an experience that I did have. I actually did a talk in the Patterson School District for, oh gosh, five, fifth graders, so on and so forth. I took out a sky map, if you will, and started pointing at stuff. And I had 15 kids laying on the floor just looking at where I was pointing in the sky. It just takes a little bit of energy on the individual, the teacher, the lecturer, to actually talk to somebody, keep them involved, getting you all involved, having you come and visit us, and bringing them even to a place like right here. It immediately gets kids involved. And be it space, be it whatever career they decide to go into, just the motivation about learning from people like Kim here and various people here, various things such as science and or photography, just and it's great to see them light up. Did you enjoy my talk? I have the nice 9-year-old here shaking her head yes. Why? What was the favorite part that you liked when I talked about?
Oh, hold on.
My favorite part was when you were talking about the different galaxies and the different stars.
The different galaxies. So, by showing kids galaxies through a telescope where they actually can see it with their own eye, okay, be it Andromeda, or we have some that can see through a telescope that are even further away. The end results is just by having them, here it is, showing it to them, and watching the spark go off.
All right. So, chat also supplied you with the answers for a couple of questions you had. As far as the Tesla Roadster, they were thankful that luckily there's no speed limit in space because it's going really fast. But the Starman is in an orbit around the sun. You can track it on whereisroadster.com apparently.
Oh, cool.
And according to that, it's headed towards Mars from about 2 million miles away. However, there's an astrophysicist, Hanno Ryan of the University of Toronto, that has estimated that the Roadster would more likely crash into either Earth, Venus, or the Sun in about 10 million years. So apparently math is showing that eventually it's going to become a problem. Just not for us to worry about.
There you go.
Let's see. The next question was, what is your favorite thing to do regarding your astronomy hobby?
Talking to people, having them get interested in something that I like, love, and having them get involved with the science of astronomy and going forward. So, I mean, that is the most rewarding thing for me when I get somebody to look at my telescope, primarily the planets. This is working okay, right? You can hear me fine?
I think so.
Okay, very good. Having somebody look into my telescope, let's say the planets, and actually have somebody look down into the eyepiece and go, wow, that's, wow. They just can't talk. And that's what's rewarding to me.
All right. Were there any more questions here? All right. So the last answer that chat provided was the nebula that we were talking about that you weren't sure what it is actually a cluster. And it's, according to reverse image search on Google, it's the Westerlund 2.
Westerlund
2.
Westerlund 2. Okay, thank you very much for telling me that, because I don't know. I just took the picture off the internet and I thought it was great. And you all liked it, I hope.
And this is why we like to cite sources in the science world. Always cite the sources. I believe Mythbuster said it best, where the only difference between fooling around and science is you write things down in science. All right. So it looks like our questions online have kind of everyone was chatting about various topics, but there weren't really too many questions online. Were there any last minute questions here? Right. So I want to thank everyone who has come here and everyone who has joined us online. And have a good night. You guys here can all head out. And like I said, we do have a number of telescopes open, as well as lovely views you can see off the little observing rock we have over there. All right. Have a good night.